Hey, what's up everybody? This is Easy CNC. Today we'll be doing some dynamic clearing with a 3D model. So let's get started. Okay, here's our 3D model. Pretty interesting shape. And we imported it into Mastercam. It is on level 1. First thing we want to do is we want to do a silhouette and get some wireframe to work with. So first we're going to transform it. We're going to move it in Z minus 500 thou. We're going to clear the colors. Okay, so now our part is on 0. The top face is on 0. Next, we're going to select the whole part. Go to wireframe and do silhouette boundary. Click the check mark. Okay, that makes a nice silhouette, so we can do our 2D dynamic milling. So go to top. What we're going to do is we're going to select that wireframe and we're going to move it to another level so we can access it more easily. So we're going to be careful and select all of these lines. Just like that, we're going to go around it and make sure we get every single line. Okay, about halfway done. Now if you miss a line, you wouldn't have a complete chain, so that's why we're just taking our time and getting every little line. Okay, that's looking good. Next we can right click and we can go to change level. We'll type in level 2 and we'll hit move, check mark. So all that wireframe moved to a different level. Now we can do a dynamic toolpath a little bit easier. Be easier to chain and just see in general. Next we're going to create our stock. We'll just make a rectangle for our stock. We'll anchor it to the center. Our width will be 7, height 3.25. Hit the check mark. Next we're going to create another level. We'll call it 3. We'll name it stock. We'll select our rectangle. We'll right click, go to change level, number 3, name stock should be here. We click the check mark, and there it is. So now we got something to work with. Now we can do a dynamic mill a little bit easier because we got our stock, we got our outside boundary. That's all you really need to get your dynamic milling going. So we went from solid model to wireframe. And for 2D dynamic milling, all you need is wireframe. So that's what we're doing here. Okay, we'll go to machine, mill. Now we'll hit Dynamic Mill under 2D. We'll select our stock, climb cutting direction. Avoidance regions, we'll select our wireframe, and we'll go to from outside. We don't want to do inside, we want to go from outside. The inside would have our tool start in between the stock and the part, which we don't want. We want it starting outside the stock. Next, we'll just use a 1/2 inch end mill. Keep it simple. It's in our default Mastercam library. Okay, that looks good. Tool 1, spindle speed 10,000, feed rate 100, plunge 100. And you can go to easyspeedsandfeeds.com for some free speeds and feeds. Step over, we'll go 50. Stock to leave 25. Stock to leave on floors 0. Linking parameters, go 525 thou. That's 25 thou past the bottom of the part. Our part is a 1/2 inch thick. Turn our coolant on. We'll let it generate a toolpath here. That's looking pretty good. We'll backplot it and check out what's going on. So it's starting outside, that's good. 50 thou step over. Yeah, it's looking good. Make sure it's climb cutting, and the back plot looks pretty good. Okay, we're gonna go back into parameters. We're gonna change some. We're gonna go to cut parameters. We go down to back feed rate. We're gonna crank that up because back feed rate acts as kind of a rapid movement in between cuts if you're doing like a tricutal motion. So that will help us just save some time. That's a great time saver right there if you can crank that up. Okay. Now that outer blue rectangle represents our stock. We can adjust our stock in our verify later, but you get the picture. Okay, 50 thou step overs. It's looking good. That's kind of what you want. You kind of want to start a little bit lower on the step over and then crank it up as you go. You don't want to start too high. So that's looking good. Nice fast toolpath. So we'll go back to top view. We'll go to levels and we can activate our 3D. Now we can watch it one more time. So there it is. That is how you take a 3D model, turn it into wireframe, and make a 2D dynamic toolpath. Pretty simple. We will be coming out with some more complicated ones, maybe doing 3D dynamic milling and some interesting geometry. And I hope you guys like the video. Be on the lookout, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.